How's it going, everybody? It's Lucas, aka Tech On here, and today is a very, very, very special day because we are getting into the blood and bones of the song We Got the Gold by a band called LUV. It's me, Gid Kid Dad, so it's Tech On and Gid Kid Dad put together into a new band labeled LUV. And this is our song, We Got the Gold. This song is very special. It's very nostalgic. That's the vibe you're supposed to get from it. It's a very nostalgic song. And we're going to get into the lyrics. And we're going to get into why certain things are how they are and what instruments we used and why we use those instruments and all that kind of cool stuff. So let's get into it right now. So in the beginning of this, we have guitar and piano. And that's it. Just a real thick piano plus a guitar, just playing the chords. There's a little bit of a snare down here as well, a crisp snap. There's two of them. One has a lot of reverb on it, the other one doesn't. I wanted it to kind of pop through the reverb, but still have a good amount of reverb. And it's just kind of getting you into the mood of the song. So some songs can start out right away, hit you in the face, no problem. This song, because of the chill vibe, I wanted to make sure that people got the vibe and felt it before we started opening our mouths and saying something about what the song's about. I wanted the people listening to kind of just get into it. And obviously there's a riser, just a riser that I had, a techno house riser, kind of brings you into it. It's like you're in this place, you're in this space, and all of a sudden something's bringing you into a new section of the song. Risers are very good for that. And reverse cymbals, things like that. Anything that kind of swells, it will bring you into the next part a little bit easier. So, okay, so this is here's the lyrics right here. I'll get you the lyrics because the lyrics are. So when I write a chorus for a song, it's basically the entire song wrapped up into the least amount of words as possible. Because if you use a ton of words, people can't remember it and it's not catchy. But if the least amount of words as possible, but also at the same time with the most amount of meaning as possible. It's a hard puzzle to crack. And I think we did it on this song. But a lot of times it's really, really tough to get that exact puzzle just right so that people understand exactly what the song's about, but then also not with all the words. You know what I mean? Not with every single word that's ever been made. So in this chorus, it goes, faded pictures in the window where you'll find me. Faded pictures in the window where you'll find me. So the image is set up. I'm in a window. I'm in a window looking at pictures of the old times. Pictures of a time of not now. Reminisce on times we're broken, we still found peace. Reminisce on times we're broke and we still found peace. So this is. Obviously, I'm 33. Josh is 33 as well. And we kind of remember, these times when we were 17, 18, 19, 20, and we had no money. We had no reason to even have money. We were just chilling. And we found peace, even though we had nothing, really. We found peace in just being alive and being with our friends. Cruising windows down, a couple bullies in the backseat, bragging about my timepiece like I get the go. So this is this line right here, cruising windows down, a couple bullies in the back seat. So when I say bullies, like, so the original lyric that I had was cruising windows down, a couple friends in the back seat. It wasn't right. Like, that didn't feel right. It wasn't crisp enough. You know what I mean? So I picked the word bullies because I had a couple other things I was going to put there, but I picked the word bullies because I wanted to give a sense of roughness to the people that I'm hanging out with, because I was young, I was in a bunch of metal bands, and we'd always be going to shows, and I wanted a certain roughness to be given to I wanted a certain roughness to be given to the atmosphere of that of what we were doing.
Windows down, a couple bullies in the backseat, bragging about my timepiece like I get the gold.
So, and then bragging about my timepiece like I get the gold. So this is a young me with a bunch of dudes, all talking like we're having a good time, we're making fun of each other, and it's me going, bragging about my watch, this new watch that I got. And I remember it specifically, thinking I was so cool and thinking it was so cool that I had it. It was like a $60 watch, but, and then everyone kind of making fun of me, how boys do. And I just remember that part, and I just had to throw that in there because for a couple reasons. One, because it was very reminiscent, and I really enjoyed that specific car ride. And also, I wanted to get into the part where we had the gold, because the song was supposed to be reminiscent of a time that was really, really good, even though we had nothing. So I was like, we have the gold. How do I get into that? So I included that story in there. It fit perfectly, and I was very happy with it. So then the next part is,
we didn't know.
So it's basically saying we didn't know that we had the gold. We had no idea at the time that this is about as good as life gets, being young, having no reason or rhyme or reason to do anything, or nowhere to be, no responsibilities. So we'll play the chorus in its whole.
Painted pictures in the window where you'll find me, reminisce sometimes we're broken, we still found peace. Cruising windows down, a couple bullies in the backseat, bragging about my timepiece like I get the gold. We didn't know. Yeah, we had the gold. Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, we had the gold.
So that's that part. And one of my favorite parts about this is these are processed harmonies. So usually when a singer's doing their own harmonies, it doesn't quite sound like that. So we had done our own harmonies for this song, and it sounded fine. It was like, this sounds fine. And then I started playing around a little bit with it, and I kind of made the harmonies that we did sound a little bit robotic. And I was like, maybe that's a better sound. So then I made 3 fake harmonies to put in the background, because I wanted them to sound fake. I legitimately wanted the harmonies to sound otherworldly, because the song is supposed to be bringing you back into a dream, like a dream state kind of area, a very chill kind of dream state. So if you listen to these harmonies,
We didn't know. We had gold.
so these are harmonies that I generated with the program, and I wanted them to sound robotic like that, because it brings you into a place that's unreal.
We didn't know. Yeah, we had gold.
And they're buried way back there. But it kind of helps with that feeling of just not in the present, sort of, you know what I mean?
No money in a wallet, but we feel like a million. Nobody.
So this is obviously Josh's part, or Gid Kid Dad's part. It perfectly represents what the song is about. I believe, so no money in our wallets, but we felt like a million. Nobody can tell us we were any less brilliant.
No money in our wallets, but we felt like a million. Nobody could tell us we were any less brilliant. Where did those memories run off to? Thinking about them, it makes me want you. I wanna feel that feeling. You're sitting right beside me. No gas in my gas tank.
So Josh's verse is about a whether it's a fictional or a real. My guess is like it's not, to me. It's always sounded like a past lover. I actually didn't ask him whether it was about that or not, but it's, to me, it sounds like it. Like some of these lines here.
We were any less brilliant. Off to thinking about them, it makes me want you.
So it's just reminiscing about a time that he was with somebody, and that space and time that he was with them in as well. So it's like a double reminiscence in one verse. Very, very cool.
No gas in my gas tank. We never running on empty.
That's a very cool line there. I like that line a lot. No gas in the gas tank, but never running on empty. So that's the essence of the whole song. It's like we had nothing, but we were surged, and we were lively, and we were falling in love, and we were doing all these things, and life was great, even though there wasn't much to feel great about.
You gave me something to hold on to. Feeling like go because I got you.
Painted pictures in the window where you'll find me. Reminisce sometimes with broken we still found peace.
So we're back to the chorus, as you know, and it's just the way the song was put together is just so fun. So like the chorus is very simple with the vocals, and then if you look here, that's just the guitar doing the same thing over and over again. And the way that fits into the song is it kind of carries all these other junctions, all these other pieces that are hanging out. So we have a driving guitar here, which is basically just something to keep everything glued together. So that's there just to kind of make sure that everything stays in line. The whole feeling of the chorus stays nice in line. And then we have this, which is the more of like a glue, a repeating phrase that takes that driving piece and kind of gives it a smoother kind of transition and a smoother kind of glue kind of pace kind of thing going on there. And then there's the bass in the this is super simple, following the piano. So all together without the drums, all this sounds like this. There's also a dreaminess to that lead guitar, the ba ba ya da ba ya da, because of all the delay that's put on it, and that also helps it with the glue, and also helps with the feeling of reminiscence. Kind of like the way I was kind of picturing it was, on TV shows when they're remembering stuff back in the day in the early 2000s on TV shows, when you remember something, the outside of it's all fuzzy. Like the outside of the camera work's all fuzzy, and that's kind of the feeling I wanted to give people when they were listening to this song. And the drums are just so simple. Honestly, it's almost embarrassing how simple the drums are. Super simple drums, but the thing is, overcomplicated drums make you feel like the song itself doesn't matter. At least that's how it feels to me. Overcomplicated drums makes makes me feel like the rest of the song doesn't matter. So it basically saying the vibe of the song doesn't matter. Listen to the drums. So when I have a song that I want a specific feeling for that doesn't rely on percussion, I dumb down the drums. Now, if it's like a very Latin feeling kind of song, boost them drums up, because that's where all the feeling of that kind of song comes from. This is more of like an indie rock kind of vibe, you know. And of course, in this song, I have the vocal chops, which is one of my favorite things to do. You'll hear them in a lot of our songs, vocal chops. And that's just one of us singing, and it's put into a keyboard and all chopped up. Let's see if I can open it up, or I see what that is. You know, so you do that. So it's all chopped up into these little sections on these pads, and you play them on the pads, and that's how you do vocal chops. So they're all over in our music because I just love them so much. And they give a very cool vibe if you do it correctly. What's next? So I think the next part is the verse again, my verse, I believe.
Yeah, we had to go. Living on vacation every day, so it seems. Brought some green in my guitar to the beach, never leave. Walking over.
So this was a part of the song where I wasn't sure if I wanted to put in there. A part of my past that I wasn't sure if I wanted to reveal to people who know me now. But you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. The lyric goes, living on vacation every day, or so it seems. Brought some green in my guitar to the beach, never leave. So back in the day, long time ago, 10 years ago, or 10 or 11 years ago now, that would be something that I would have done. And I wanted to include it because I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to include it because I wanted to be genuine. I didn't want to edit true memories and my true self because of, you know, what people would think, or whether this song could go on the radio or not, or whatever. So I chose to do that, and it sounds awesome. So I wanted to make sure that was in there. It's not something where it's like, oh, he's promoting. No, it was just who I was at the time. And I wanted to include my whole self into the song, because the song ended up being very, very special to both Josh and I.
Vacation every day, so it seems. Brought some green in my guitar to the beach, never leave. Walking on for hours cause my mate lost his keys, but that's fine, shit, we had nowhere to be.
So the second line is walking home for hours cause my mate lost his keys. So this is all these are actual memories that happened. And this was a day at the beach, a place called Bill's Beach, where I live. And we're hanging out, we're playing guitar, we're having a good time, partying a little bit, and my buddy lost his keys in the sand. And it was just, when I think back, so if I lose my keys today, worst day ever. Losing our keys back then is, he calls his dad up, hey dad, lost my keys. And his dad goes, well, I'm not coming to get you, but we got spares at the house. Of course the dad has spares, you know? And it's just that feeling of the carefreeness that I wanted to make sure ended up in this song.
Walking on for hours cause my mate lost his keys, but that's fine, shit, we had nowhere to be.
But that's fine, shit, we had nowhere to be. That's it. So that's fine, shit, we had nowhere to be. It's like, whatever, you know, oh, lost the keys, oops. Well, all right, let's start walking, you know? And it's just that feeling of the carefreeness I wanted to put in there.
We had nowhere to be. No, we had nowhere to be. Living like the breeze, yeah.
So living like the breeze. That's just self-explanatory. I mean, we were just literally just being on the wind. I mean, that's really all it was. The feeling of just freeness.
Painted pictures in the window.
So this is where the song gets really fun. I mean, the song has been fun already, but this is where the song gets really fun, because what we do here is basically we put a choir in, and this is all me and Josh singing different parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different parts, so 6 different harmonies, and then we put a chorus effect, not a chorus effect, but we put a choir effect on every single one of them as well. So it sounds very, very big and very, very full. I'll play just the choir part for you, and this is all part of this build that we made. So there's a couple ways to do this. The way we ended up doing it is doing only like 5 or 6 tracks, and then putting another effect on those tracks. Now, most of the time when you do something like this, you do about 20 tracks and put no effect on it. But we just opted with this because it's so far in the background, and it still sounds good to me. So that's where we went with it. And then this is where the drums do a build. So the whole song, the drums are doing something very simple, but this is where these toms come in. I just love it.
Painted pictures in the window where you'll find me, reminiscing times we. Painted pictures in the window where you'll find me, reminiscing times we. I get the.
So this part is the biggest part of the song, my favorite part, simply because not what the vocals are doing. The vocals are actually just chopped up versions of the chorus, just in different chops. But we throw in some distortion guitar. We throw in the distortion guitar, which is awesome, and then we throw in some more real sounding drums. So this is the drum section here, and it sounds like a real drum set, where the rest of it sounded kind of like possibly a real pop kit, but more so of like drum samples. But this section right here has the real drums in it with the real guitar, with just like.
Reminiscing times we.
And then everything cuts out other than a couple things, and obviously the chorus line, and then it goes to the end of the song. So let's listen to the.
Painted pictures in the window where you'll find me, reminiscing times we. Broken, we still found peace. Closing windows down, a couple bullies in the backseat, bragging about my timepiece, like I get the go. We didn't know. Yeah, we had to go. Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, we had to go.
And it ends with the choir in the background, and the song is a dream, and all of a sudden it's like the memory comes to fruition at the end. It's like you get the full scope of how much that time of life really was awesome. So it's like we're remembering, you're putting pieces together. Josh's verse, you have this memory with it, what seems to be like a young lady or just a mate in general. My verse, we're hanging out with the boys, we're just being bullies. The whole chorus is we're hanging out, we're chilling, and then it's all gets put together, and there's just the build, and then all of a sudden at the end with the guitar and everything, boom, the memory's full. Everything that you could possibly remember, all the good, the bad, and the ugly, are all into one place, and then the song ends with this fade out of you and all of your buddies and everybody in your past all singing together. And why I love this song so much, because it really is a story told the correct way via music. And just getting through the instrumental and making sure that it fit the vibe of the song, and getting through the lyrics and making sure the lyrics fit the vibe of the instrumental, and going through all that, the process of the song was my favorite to write, and this is my favorite on the album. That's why I did the breakdown of this one first. So if you guys enjoy the music, enjoy the breakdowns, please let me know in the comments, and I will continue to do them for all of our songs if you guys enjoy them and you want to be a part of this. And if there's any small facts or anything that you want me to get into a little bit deeper, also let me know that in the comments. This was We Had the Gold by the band LUV. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for listening to the music. Go check it out on Spotify, iTunes, all that. See you later. Bye.